Welcome back. Lost wedding photos have finally been returned to an 85-year-old San Antonio woman, and that's all thanks to the power of social media.
Sandra Poindexter explains how they were found all across the country and then returned to San Antonio thanks to the detective work of two women.
Sandra Poindexter was looking for frames at an estate sale outside of Lynchburg, Virginia, and found them for $5. But when she got home,
I can't take these apart. They're too pretty. That, somebody might want these. They're bridal pictures, and that means a lot to somebody somewhere.
So she posted them to social media. And thanks to the detective work of another woman.
And one of the users started digging and looking up who this person was. And she actually found Harriet. She found the bride.
The bride is 85-year-old Harriet Galbraith, who lives in San Antonio. She was 21 in those photos. She and her husband married in 1959 in Washington, D.C., while he was in the Army. They were married for 56 years.
Well, it just thrills me to death. I mean, can you imagine that all those years that I didn't have them, and I would have liked them, and I know my husband would have loved to have had them.
Galbraith says the portraits were at her mother's house in Virginia. When her mother died, her sister took on all the belongings and the photos.
I had gone to visit her and asked her, I would like the pictures back, and she said, well, she wasn't sure where they were, so.
Galbraith says after checking the attic, they gave up and figured they were lost. When her sister's husband died, they were unknowingly sold at an estate sale. Poindexter found them at another estate sale, and fate brought them back to Galbraith, who was a model in the 1950s and wore one of her favorite gowns for her wedding portraits.
And that's a Christian Dior gown that I had on, which I had gotten from an ex-boyfriend's mother who gave it to me.
Galbraith says she is grateful for the women who did the legwork to get the portraits back to her.
And I'm just so happy. And in fact, I'm going to be friends for the rest of my life with both those ladies.
Galbraith says the photos had stayed at her mother's house because she and her husband lived all over the world since he was in the Army. She now has granddaughters and says she will be giving the portraits to them. I'm Sarah Costa, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you for watching KSAT 12. If you are on YouTube, you can like and subscribe so you can stay up to date on all the latest news and weather here in San Antonio.